Good morning, I'm Kathryn Delaney, and this is your Daily Tarot. We had three cards come up today. One of them is reflecting what's going on in our star system right now, but I'm going to talk about that at the end of the reading so we can just have a really clear snapshot of what's going on in the cards. The first card that we have for today is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is associated with Capricorn energy. And Capricorn energy is all about our life path energy and what we're doing career-wise, what our reputation is before the public. And this is telling me that we have some move we want to make with some project, something that's like a physical project, a material project, because it is a pentacle. It's something that we've had in our mind for a long time, and now we're really inspired to move forward with it. Our second card for today is the Three of Wands. Now, when we consider the wands, it's like our sense of will, right? And our desire to move forward and initiate something new, because it's a fiery energy, which is like a growing kind of consuming energy. But when you consider there's three of them, it's like we have three wills that are happening simultaneously at the same time. This card, as you can see, there's one wand in their hand, one that's set to the side, and one that's behind them. So it's like having multiple things that we want to do, and to, not really know how to proceed with that. And the message in this card is, this is the reluctant adventurer, and the message is to move forward because help is on the way. So if you have a project that you've been considering starting for a while, there is some kind of help that's going to show up to move it along. The third card that we have for today is the Eight of Pentacles. Now this is the apprentice craftsman. The apprentice craftsman takes time in refining their skill and working on something that's a material project. It's a number 8 card, so it does mention time and the refinement of that, infinity symbol, and working towards something that you're trying to attain. So, there's definitely energies going on in those areas right now for people and for today. But, the message is to move forward, make steps forward, take some step toward that project today, because there will be help there that supports you. The card, or the zodiac sign that steps in today, is Capricorn, because this is a Capricorn ruled card. Now, granted, in Capricorn right now, there are 3 different planets that are all pretty big, life cycle affecting planets, because they all move very, very slowly and are in the outer reaches of our planetary system. So we, are looking at things that we've been like projects in our career path that we've had some limitation in the last 6 to 8 months, as everything's been going on throughout the world with the virus and the government shutdowns. And with that energy there, like when you consider Capricorn is that energy of our life path and what we've been doing with our lives, and it's also the energy of the social order and the social structure. And it's had these 3 planets, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, all sitting in that sign for a number of months, pretty closely to one another. So you have a planet of transformation, which is Pluto. You have planet Uranus, which is a planet of unforeseeable change to outworn conditions. So it's like a help that you don't necessarily we ask for help, but we don't necessarily get to choose how that shows up, and it shows up in Uranus. Then we also have Saturn, which is a planet of limitation, and all of these planets are working together, which is kind of like a cooking, like pressure pot, in this area of our chart, which is wherever Capricorn sits in your natal chart. And so this is mentioning that, like, wherever you are like if you were to look at your natal chart and have that accessible and look to where Capricorn sits, that's the area of your life that is having this biggest, you know, kind of pressure cooker thing that's happening right now, because it has these three really impactful energies sitting in it. And at the same time, we have this cardinal cross thing that's happening, which, you know, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign, we also have Aries, we have Mars, which is in retrograde right now. And if you think about the person who really doesn't like to have restraints and limitations that this whole area is putting on it, then they're in, while it's in retrograde, is kind of like strategizing and trying to figure out how they're going to get around this authority anyway, because that's what people do when they're, you know, they have overbearing restrictions put on them. It's just what happens. It's like the, you know, the fire in the belly, so to speak, lights up our spirit, and we start thinking about new things and new strategies and new ways to develop and what to do with ourselves. Sometimes for better or for worse, and I do encourage people to do it for better. Like, what do you actually want to do? You know, because Aries is this energy of like developing the self, from like the little kid self to the actual like higher self, and what that development looks like throughout our lives. And we have this like pressure that's happening right now. And then simultaneously we have the sun in Libra, which is, you know, in opposition to this. These are all square. And then we also have the moon, although the moon's really fast moving, it's in Cancer. So we have this really like the energy that I'm seeing right now is like, you know, I don't know if I know the terminology right, like the crank that you use when you like tighten the bolts on the tire, or you loosen the bolts on the tire when you have to you know, it's like almost like a tire wrench. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but it's something that like really cranks down and loosens bolts, but it's like that cross kind of symbol. And so I feel like that's what's happening right now. Like there is this like pressure that's kind of loosening something or tightening something. And that's what this card is, you know, calling to me to look at. And it's you know, important while we're going through these changing times to, you know, consider our anchor, right? Because Capricorn is an earth ruled sign, and it's also ruled by, or it has the animal associated with it, that's the mountain goat. So like, what do you want to climb toward? What do you want to move toward in life? And where you have felt restrictions for the last 6 to 8 months, that will be shifting, just like the earth shifts, right? Just like water wears away land, things are shifting, and they will shift, especially when Saturn and Jupiter and eventually Pluto all move out of Capricorn, because that's where we feel that restriction. That's where transformation is happening in that area. And it'll all be moving. First, Saturn and Jupiter will be moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius in late December, and then Pluto will be in early 2021. So we will see some pretty big shifts happening to our the way we do things, you know, out in the world. And we're approaching right now a new moon that's coming up at the end of this week. And so I encourage you to use your intention and your mindset and your heart in your meditation to actually envision the world that we want to live in. So I invite you to do that and encourage you to do that from my heart to yours. And I send you a good wish and many blessings. I'll see you soon. Bye.